once she gets a head of steam going, then you can start to feather in a little bit of brake, keep that power coming, and that'll get the turn radius going. Yeah. If you put the brake in first, it never really starts turning because it's not moving fast enough to really get that nose wheel castering around. We can take off right here on the right side. You've been kind of going over there. We can take off on the right side of the center line.
Windows closed. Last check on the gauges here. Transponder to altitude. We are full rich. And beacon is on. Full rich. Heading indicator set. Flap set. 10 degrees. Close, close.
And you can do your nav lights as well for your ADSB. There you go.
That's the one I was forgetting. Alright, so.
Ready when you are. Hodges traffic, Scott K305 Bravo is departing 12. Hodges ready to close traffic. A little more push on that hand. There you go.
School. And I think that's it. Coming right. Kind of changed colors on me. It's now blue in a different light. Ooh, boy, this will be fun. Yeah, that's a dumper over there.
Yeah, looks like it might start doing a little more too.
Starback 1500. RB coming in, first nice steps. And pitching Brady. He's trying to. And coming right. Second notch. And last coming right. Oh, that's so much fun.
more nose down. See how speed's creeping down, angle of attack's a little too much, so a little more nose down is going to give you the control that you're going to want when that wind starts smacking on us. Good. There's just a couple of moments there where we had just a little too high of a pitch attitude and the speed was creeping down. And remember, the difference between even 65 and 60 is going to be significant in terms of aileron control. And if you're anticipating a little bit of wind hitting you, rolling over those trees, that's going to be a little bit extra control that you're going to want. But pretty good. A couple of moments on the takeoff roll, we could have used a little bit more right rudder in the initial climb coming off the runway. Everything was pretty good as we turned crosswind to downwind. Yeah, we needed the nose up a little bit more. There are quite a few moments there where we were going a little too fast. We want that 70, we want that altitude.
Yeah, when I made the turn, I glanced down to airspeed and I jumped up to like almost 90.
Yeah, most of the time, if people make a mistake on speed control, it's in the beginning of the pattern. They tend to fly too fast. They're letting the nose come down through the turns.
Yeah.
And then conversely, on the other end of the spectrum, people tend to usually get a little bit too slow. You didn't do that. We were just a little too fast out there on the upwind to crosswind, crosswind to downwind area. We'll just keep watching this guy, but for now I think we're okay to keep going.
So I got my flight physical scheduled for the 22nd.
What's the guy's name?
Cobb. Keith Cobb.
Cobb, okay. Yeah. I forgot about him. I did one with him many years ago because, I don't know, Lynch was sick that day when I had it scheduled or something, so he stepped in for him. He's a nice guy. Have you met him before? Or?
Nope.
Hey,
I'm going based upon Tripp's recommendation and because he's closest to me.
Yeah, no, he's fine. No big deal. Have you already done your MedExpress website thing?
Yeah, the MedEx or MedExpress or whatever. Yeah, I filled all that out.
Remember, you have to take that number with you. The confirmation number that it gave you.
Yeah.
He can't do anything if you forget that number at home.
Yeah, I already called them and they've already recorded it and everything.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, prior planning prevents poor performance, and I've got a copy of the sheet too to carry with me just in case.
Yep. Does he have his own office, or what does he operate out of?
I think he's got I don't know if he's got his own office, but
I was just curious if he... Just curious what else he does, because I'm sure this isn't his only thing that he does. Lynch, when Lynch was doing it, this was the only thing that he did because he was retired. He just kind of did this for fun. Lynch was a retired surgeon. I don't know what Dr. Cobb does. If you're good to go, I've got my door and you can keep on rolling.
all right, we'll keep on rolling, baby.
Hodges Traffic Scout K305 Bravo is departing 1-2, right close traffic, Hodges. Real good right rudder usage there. Perfect, as a matter of fact.
Well, I'm feeling for it. She'd really fight me wanting to get the nose down, though. Yeah, I really had to sit down and, after the last flight, sit down and work through the mechanics coming right of, you know, what the aircraft is doing at each position. So at takeoff full throttle, oh, that's a nice one. I like that. Takeoff full throttle, the left tendency turn being stronger, or, you know, you need more right rudder, and then if you're coming in, you've reduced that left tendency turn because you no longer have the torque on the aircraft, so you've got to watch it. So there's more aileron involved, so neutral aileron on takeoff, but landing, you've got to really pay attention to those ailerons.
Yeah,
is what I was able to come up with myself. Now you can tell me.
But yeah, we're really not using any rudder. Once we get leveled off here in cruise, even if we're just staying in the pattern, we're really not using any rudder.
Yeah.
The only time we'd use rudder on landing is if we're doing an actual crosswind landing, and then it's only as needed. We're using the ailerons to control drift. Rudder just points the nose down the runway. If the nose isn't pointing down the runway, then the nose is going to get it there. Or excuse me, then the rudder's going to get it there.
Way high. Too busy talking. Okay, so things Lance can't do, talk and fly the aircraft at the same time. Note to self. Go ahead, come in first notch. And coming right.
Not that I wanted your lesson to get rained out, but we could have used a little shower over the field. The grass is going to get crunchy pretty soon here. There's no real rain in the forecast till next Wednesday.
Like a notch. And third notch coming in.
Almost flared too late, but we didn't.
So we almost found the go-around point?
Well, no, it wasn't the go-around point. It was the instructor puts his hands on the controls point. You were, I'm going to say a quarter second. You're about a quarter of a second from from divine intervention. But no, you got it.
I mean, I felt we floated a little long.
Well, that was fine. Speed was, we did good speed. We may have been a hair fast, but I'm okay with a hair fast because it's a little bit choppy out there, and a hair fast gives you a little more control. You just don't want to turn a hair fast into several hairs fast, because then you're going to do go around. We just don't have the runway to come in super fast.
Yeah, everyone keeps asking, said, when are you going to solo? And I was like, I think my instructor's edging towards that direction as long as I keep improving. And I was like, and they're like, okay, what does that mean? I was like, soon.
Yeah. Slide those feet down just in case. It takes no effort to rub those brake pads a little bit. Man, we don't want to do that here. We don't want to do that taxiing, taking off, landing, any of the above. That's going to be bad news.
Yeah, so what I was going to tell you in the office there a minute ago, Kevin Quinn, he was shooting some touch and goes out at higher altitudes on, you know, two-wheel and stuff like that. And he's talking about landing techniques and things like that. And, you know, he's like, he threw in some really good advice in there. He's like, always leave yourself an out. Always leave yourself an out whenever, feeling out those landings, coming in, you know, if something doesn't feel right, go around.
Yep.
You know.
Oh yeah, always. Every landing is a go around until it's not.
And I just found out that a buddy of mine, well, call him my baby brother, if you will. He was my next door neighbor when I was a kid, and my dad was stationed in New Orleans, and we lived up in southern Mississippi on the Gulf Coast. But he was my next door neighbor's kid, and he's about 5 years junior to me, but he's a full bird. Oh. Working out a Hunter now. So he's we're both in the same career field and stuff like that and everything, and he had taken a couple of lessons and stuff like that, and I was like, if you want to do it, I was like, you need to get over here and see my CFI and continue on. He goes, I'm a 50-50 proposition on landing. He's like, I can take the aircraft off. Oh, come on. Yep, I just ain't got this technique down yet.
A little more power, and that's going to help you out. There you go.
Yeah, down on that end is no problem. It's uphill, and
once again, if you want to keep rolling, we're good. Hodges traffic Sky K305 Bravo's departing 1-2, Hodges. Good. That was good acceleration after liftoff. Hold that right pedal in there now. He's stationed at Hunter. When was he taking lessons, or where was he taking lessons?
I want to say it's been at least a year since he's done it. So he's going to be rusty now, but he's going to be in command over at Hunter for the next 2 years.
Oh, he's the garrison commander?
Yeah, he's commander.
Oh.
He's in command of all the ROTC coming right. So. Just a great guy. But I told him, I was like, damn, Mouse. I was like, if you're going to be out here for 2 years, you ought to at least finish your pilot's license. I don't know how you justify that as professional development, but
Yeah, he needs to at least come over here and do a discovery flight, at least.
So he's like, yeah, you're right, I need to work on it. And so, you've got sway when as a retired warrant officer, you say something to a full bird colonel and they're like, yeah, you're right.
Right.
But, yeah, he took command of the, all the ROTC programs for all of Southeast United States. So all the college ROTC, he's in charge of. All right, back to 1500. Pitch for 80. Good there, good there. Man, first notch coming in. And coming right. Notch coming in, Herky Bird up high, and there's the third notch. We're there, coming right. Yeah, I see him. He's not coming our way. Oh, thank God. Because I think he's...
Hodges Travis Sky Certified Bravo's final 1-2, Hodges.
And we are made.
As long as we go through the keyhole.
Oh, come on. That was rough.
That was okay. You're playing with the yoke a little more than maybe what was needed. And what I mean by that is a couple of times you maybe went a little bit forward on it.
Yeah.
But you still got it back. It was maybe a little bit flattish, but it certainly wasn't a bad landing.
I'm always worried I'm going to break something. Maybe I've watched too many videos of people cracking landing gear.
No, I tell you one thing about grass, it's a hell of a lot more forgiving than concrete.
I watched a AN2 bison coming in on a short approach on a landing strip the other day, and it was concrete strip, and what it didn't have any sort of lead up to the concrete. It just had a straight cutoff, and he hit the front wheels on that, ripped the front wheel off.
Yeah.
And you know, AN2 bison, big, slow Russian.
Yeah, 1,000 horsepower and 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. And man, he just, I mean, you just watch it and you're like, ooh, yep, that's going to leave a mark. And of course, it ground loops as soon as it broke the wheel off, you know, the next wheel came down, and like, oh.
I don't know if they're still making those or not. They're not making them in Russia. China says they're not still making them, but I bet they still are.
Yeah.
Because if they are, they're not under license. They're just, you know, they're just making them unofficially. It's you know, you wouldn't think a radial engine biplane would have a current purpose, but you can use those for all kinds of things. You can take that thing and deposit troops somewhere a heck of a lot more economically than a helicopter. It's got better range, so if you have a little bit of a field to drop some people in or fly low and slow and let them, you know.
I mean, even up in places like Alaska, I mean, it's got a good stoll capability. You can do that with it. I mean,
but it's still, even to this day, it's maybe not so much for this country because it's not glamorous looking enough, but for the other side, it's got all kinds of covert operational potential.
Yeah.
So come on over here another 10 or 15 feet so that I don't get in trouble. There we go. There's where we want those tire tracks to be when we're taxiing. Right. Maybe even a little bit further.
Yeah, it's so dry. I don't have to worry about that ditch, do I?
Not at all.
Okay. I will attempt to put the shadow of my wing over the ditch.
And even those bushes right there, this will clear them. Your wingtip would go over top of those. The 150 won't, but this thing will. Alrighty, my controls.
Your control.
Watch what I do, especially with my feet. So as we come around here, you've been hugging the ditch really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what we do after that. So we got a little bit of momentum going. Full right pedal, a little bit of right brake. Don't be afraid of the power. Just tap a little bit of that right brake. Now, look where we are right now, and look how we're coming right around with zero effort. Your problem was too little power, too much brake. You got to get a little momentum, and she swings right around. So don't be afraid of that power. Now, we don't want to put a gargantuan amount in, but you need some, or she's just not going to turn.
Yeah, see, I think the uphill's throwing me.
Yep, just keep that power in. Don't use any brakes until the turn gets started, then start feathering that brake in. Free to go. Hodges Traffic Sky, K305 Bravo is departing 12 Hodges. And I don't know if that's that C-130 up there. I think it is. Shouldn't be a factor. I switched us over to 124.97 there, which is Hunter, so if they happen to be saying anything, we can listen. Since we're the only people in the pattern here, no big deal.
Dog 2-1 is a high initial.
Dog 2-1 Rider, your right brake is approved at or above 2,000 feet. Traffic transitioning southbound on the east side of the airfield is a banner to 1,000 feet indicated.
Dog 2-1, right brake, Dog 2-1.
Banner 5 Alpha Bravo, traffic inbound for the overhead is the C-130. He'll be restricted at or above 2,000 feet for the right brake.
Have traffic in sight, 55 Alpha Bravo.
Coming right, Buzzard.
Dog 2-1 in the brake.
Dog 2-1 Rider.
So if it's just us in the pattern, occasionally I'll put
And banner 5
Hunter in
Alpha
there.
Bravo, you can proceed back direct on course to the southwest now whenever you're ready.
Proceed southwest, 225 Alpha Bravo.
Oh, she got choppy all of a sudden. First notch in. Must be that storm dissipating. And coming right again.
Dog 2-1, check close down right 10, wind 1508, cliff the option.
Cliff the option, 10, we are geared down, Dog 2-1.
And coming right one more time.
Hodges Traffic Sky, K305 Bravo is final 12 Hodges.
Yeah, I'm going around.
No. Pull that throttle back. Pull that throttle back. Okay. We had it.
Did we?
Oh, yeah.
Well.
Now, the reason why I was going to make you go through that is you can plan on things like that happening routinely. So we gotta punch down through that. You're going to get those burbles coming down through those trees.
All right.
And I want you to learn to identify when a go-around is needed. So this is one of those moments, and as you go back and review this video, this is food for thought. A go-around is appropriate whenever you think it is, but my job is to help you determine when it truly is, and when, if that's a go-around, you might as well plan on doing a go-around every time. I hope we have unlimited fuel. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we are going to have the exact same thing happen this next time, I promise. And there ain't nothing we can do about it. We weren't too high, we weren't too fast, we had some turbulence. The same turbulence we're going to have 4 minutes from now. So, are you right that a go-around was appropriate? Yes. Am I right that we should have punched through it and landed? Yes. See where I'm going with that?
Okay.
Because you can do a go-around anytime you want. But we have to be able to learn to deal with the conditions that are inevitable.
RV coming in. First notch. Coming right. Second notch. Third notch. Coming right.
Hodges Traffic Skyhawk Certified Bravo is training final 1-2 Hodges. Push in some power now, a little bit.
And let's say we're made.
Okay. Nice, very nice. Alrighty, I can put flaps up all the way and we'll take her back to the barn.
Alright.
really want to see your toes where mine are though. Because anything other than that, and we just might be pressing on those brakes. We certainly don't intend to, but it takes very little once you get over the pivot point of that that pedal, which is anything north of that flat section on the bottom.
I think I got to start adjusting my seat back a little bit, just a little bit further than you, because I think I'm just about an inch too tall, and that my tendency to put my feet up that high.
Yeah, and it's hard too to keep your foot angled back. The higher your foot is, the more you have to kind of have that kind of uncomfortable angle. It's one of those things, you know, it's almost a catch-22, so you kind of have to choose the lesser of two evils, because if you have your feet down there where your toes are in the bottoms of the